In Vietnam, there are designated days for practicing vegetarianism. These days fall on the eve and first day of the lunar month, and the day before and the day of the full moon. Typically, Vietnamese go vegan twice a month, one at the beginning of the month and the other in the mid-month. Additionally, people practice vegetarianism before significant family events and other important occasions such as promotions, business contracts, exams, to purify their bodies and minds. Vegetarianism holds special cultural significance for the Vietnamese, largely influenced by the Buddhist traditions that were fully embraced from the 2nd century onwards. Despite being part of the Southeast Asian Buddhist countries, Vietnam's vegetarian cuisine is perceived to be more diverse and flavorful compared to that of Thailand and Cambodia. This difference might stem from the fact that while Thailand and Cambodia adopted Theravada Buddhism, Vietnam was influenced by Mahayana Buddhism transmitted from India and China. In Theravada Buddhism, monks traditionally relied strictly on alms for their food, leading to a tradition of consuming whatever was offered, including both meat and vegetables. As a result, even today in Thai temples, it is common to see separate tables for meat dishes and vegetarian dishes, allowing people to choose without any qualms. On the other hand, the Mahayana Buddhist tradition, bolstered by royal patronage in Vietnam, allowed for a strict adherence to the Buddha's injunction against taking life. This environment provided the luxury to insist on a purely vegetarian diet. However, this also necessitated finding ways to ensure adequate intake of protein and other various nutrients solely from vegetables. And this spurred culinary creativity. The saying necessity is the mother of invention also shines through here. The range of ingredients, preparation methods, flavors, and textures in Vietnamese vegetarian cuisine has created an excellent culinary tradition, hardly matched by any other in the world. 1,000 years of tradition made this possible. When looking at the variety of ingredients, plant-based proteins such as beans and mushrooms form one mainstay, while green vegetables and fruits rich in vitamins form another. Additionally, these are complemented by tubers and bamboo shoots rich in minerals, and grains that provide carbohydrates. This isn't fundamentally different from other countries' vegetarian diets, since the types of plants usable as food are generally biologically determined. However, the uniqueness of Vietnamese vegetarian cuisine lies in the sheer number of varieties within each category of ingredients. A simple visit to the local market showcases this diversity. Common leafy greens are collectively referred to as rau cai. Bok choy, a specific type among them, is called rau cai thao, and mustard greens rau cai jan. Here, rau generally refers to vegetables, comparable to the scientific classification of a family in taxonomy. Thus, naming vegetables involves using terms akin to species, genus, and family. In reverse order, rau is for family, ci for genus, and tao for species. This reflects how scientific the approach of the Vietnamese towards their vegetables is, and how much value vegetables hold in the food culture of Vietnam. Now, let's look at how much variety of vegetables Vietnam has by using this terminology. There are over a dozen varieties of rau cai, which is leafy greens alone. To this, we can add another dozen types of round-shaped vegetables referred to as rau cu, and more than 12 varieties of starchy root vegetables like sweet potatoes and yams, known as rau coai. And with the recent popularity of Western salads, a variety of salad vegetables called salat can be found in large markets, with some stores offering close to 10 different types. All these together, it's common for a typical vegetable store to carry over 30 to 40 different types of vegetables. And this is not including the 10 or so types of herbs known as rau tom. Given this huge variety, it is not surprising even store owners often get mixed up with the names. And probably with the same reason, separate stores exclusively selling spices like garlic, chili, and ginger are common. If you have a chance to visit Vietnam, you should stop by their traditional market. In the vegetable sections of those markets alone, you can easily see that Vietnam is the land of fertility, growing anything and everything with the blessing of abundant sunlight and rainfall. And this blessing met Mahayana Buddhism and gave birth to splendid vegetarianism.
Returning to Vietnamese vegetarian cuisine, another distinctive feature is the variety of dishes made from a single ingredient. For example, tofu, introduced during a millennium of Chinese rule, can be prepared in numerous ways such as boiling, frying, braising, and stewing, and each cooking method yields different textures. and limited combinations of spices and secondary ingredients relying on the vast variety of tropical vegetables further diversify tofu dishes. Moreover, the same dish can taste completely different depending on whether it's prepared in the northern style, the southern style, or the central style. Northern dishes, which are heavily influenced by long Chinese rule, are generally mild and simple, preserving the natural flavors of the ingredients. In contrast, southern dishes, inspired by the cuisine of India and Cambodia, are characterized by rich and complex sauces made with coconut milk, curries, various spices, and sugar. Central dishes tend to be spicy and salty with heavy use of fermented seafood sauces. As is well known, tofu is a secondary ingredient coming from soybeans. Therefore, let's take one step back and have a look at soybean itself. Soybean as a whole can be cooked to complete dishes on its own. Boiled or steamed soybeans mixed with sticky rice make a hearty breakfast when topped with a mixture of salted sesame seeds and shredded coconut. Boiling coconut milk with cane sugar and pouring it over cooked beans creates a type of dessert or snack called che, enjoyed as a dessert or late afternoon snack. Soy milk, either cold or hot, is also a common beverage served among Vietnamese women. When soybeans are processed into secondary ingredients, the products of the processing are not limited to tofu. Tempeh, made from fermented soybeans mixed with solidifying elements and pressed into sheath-like forms, is also commonly used in various Vietnamese vegetarian dishes. Resembling thick, meat-like sheets, tempeh, along with seitan, a similar type of wheat gluten product, are essential ingredients in making imitation meat dishes. While imitation meat has gained popularity in the West with the recent vegan trend, it has a 1,000-year tradition in Vietnam and formed a pillar which a variety of vegetarian dishes are anchored to. In Vietnam, imitation meat originally intended to please the palates of the elite. And the details of this tradition will be explored further in Part 2 of the series 1,000 Years Vietnamese Vegan Tradition.